What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Philomena Cunk on America. Now, like many Americans, I have never heard of Philomena Cunk, let alone seen her, but if you go to her Wikipedia page, it does explain a little bit about who she is. This is a character named Philomena Cunk. What a name. Starring a real person called Diane Morgan, who plays the character Philomena, an ill-informed investigative reporter who originated on a show called Charlie Brooker's Weekly Wipe. And apparently this is a popular character, popular segment, and she did a segment where she focused on America, or giving her take and opinion on America. I'm not exactly sure what I'm about to see here today, but my interest is piqued. This is Philomena Cunk on America. Okay.
Ask a medieval peasant where America was and you'd get a blank look. Or worse still, the plague.
Columbo thought that if he sailed...
What? Wait. Whoa. Okay. So that's what this is gonna be. Okay, right off the bat. You might get the plague. Okay, she's funny. She must be a comedian. This is like a comedy satire thing, or... I think I get it.
Ask a medieval peasant where America was and you'd get a blank look. Or worse still, the plague.
Columbo thought that if he sailed off the edge of the map, he'd reappear on the other side like Pac-Man. At first, the European colonists found life in the New World hard. Luckily, some Native Americans taught them how to grow corn and where to fish. In exchange, the colonists introduced the Native Americans to smallpox. After a...
Oh my god. Okay. She's definitely willing to go there. Holy cow. This is very British humor. Very deadpan. She does a great job at selling it as well. And a little dark, which is also a bit of the British humor, I think. So I don't get a lot of stuff like this, actually, in my American day-to-day media consumption. So I like this. I'm enjoying this. Oh my god.
Arriving in America to forge a life of honest hard work and toil, many of these colonists quickly discovered they couldn't be arsed. So they stole people from Africa and made them do it instead. What started...
Oh my god. It is, that's the point of humor, though, to make light of and make jokes about some of the darkest travesties in human history, but holy cow. So this is her sort of talking about America. Right now she's talking about American history, or making fun of American history, roasting America. Oh my god.
Started the tension between... Stole people from Africa and made them do it instead. What started the tension between the British and the Americans? Was it because you say cookies and we say biscuits, and you say sidewalk and we say pavement? Because I find in a relationship it's those little things that start to grate after a while.
She is so good at keeping a straight face. And I can't tell if the person she's interviewing understands if this is a joke or not, because Philomena Cunk here is so good at delivering the lines so genuinely. Is it because we call them cookies and biscuits? Is that why America and Britain didn't get along? So she also does like interviews as well. Okay.
So when the people in Boston got angry with the British, why did they just hold a prissy tea party instead of having a proper fight like British men would?
Would you volunteer?
Oh my god. I've never heard somebody like make fun of American history. It's very funny. Because it's not something we joke about here in the United States. It's not something people say jokes about, ever. Even though she's making fun, even though she's just roasting us, making fun of America and American history. It's very funny. It's actually very, very good stuff. The Boston Tea Party. Oh, that's good.
Tea party instead of having a proper fight like British men would.
Would you voluntarily, when you didn't have to, go to jail?
It depends what facilities they had, I think.
76, the leaders of the 13 colonies decided that they didn't want to be called British anymore, but Americans.
This straight white supergroup known as the Founding Fathers drafted the most famous breakup text in history.
Oh my god. There's so much. You have to really pay attention. So every little thing she says is a joke, basically. Oh, they made up the best breakup text in history. That's good.
Known as the Founding Fathers drafted the most famous breakup text in history.
Right,
The
right.
Declaration of Independence.
Had invented camouflage yet. The British troops of the time wore bright red coats and were consequently shot in their thousands while looking amazing. George
Why? Yeah, I don't remember why the British redcoats wore red coats. Sure, there's a good reason. But listening to Philomena Cunk's version of history is much more entertaining. Very funny.
Washington crossing the Delaware River.
Yes.
As you can see, he had to stand up for the whole journey because he hadn't reserved a seat.
Oh my god. And a lot of her jokes are like almost like dad jokes in a way. Like almost like lame joke. To be honest, the comedy she's doing has like a very large range. It's all like deadpan, straight man delivery. Very funny, but it ranges from like kind of horrific stuff about diseases and slavery and making jokes about it to like dad jokes where it's like George Washington there didn't reserve a seat. That's why he's standing up in this famous painting. I didn't know that.
He didn't fall in, but he also didn't help with the rowing.
Wow. Okay, that's just part one. There's more. There's more here. This is part two. So now I understand what these videos here are. These are like compilations of Philomena Cunk's jokes or segments from, I'm guessing, different episodes or specials where she was focusing on talking about America and American history. This is like sort of a compilation of some of her funniest moments, I think, which is fantastic. I've never seen her or heard her before, but I instantly get it. I totally get why this is popular. This is amazing.
Eventually, Washington won, becoming America's first president.
Yes.
The single most revered role in the world until 2016. I read somewhere that
Oh, okay.
America isn't just a country, but an idea. But it is just a country, isn't it? Having a sandwich, that's an idea.
That's the whole joke. I love that. I love that. Because also, British comedy, I really appreciate, like, from an American's point of view, it has some depth to it. Like, you have to think for a second to get the joke. It's not, like, so in your face, like, stupid potty humor, like, dumb, almost dumb humor that America does a lot, where American comedy doesn't trust the American audience to understand very deep comedy. So it's very surface level. This is more, at least to me, this is a nice change up.
But it is just a...
This joke was way funnier than it should have been.
America isn't just a country, but an idea. But it is just a country, isn't it? Having a sandwich, that's an idea. Painting your bicycle blue, that's an idea. Going... that's an idea. America is just a place.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's just black.
They believed
okay.
in some...
Okay, it turned black for a second. What? That was just part of the video, turning black. Okay, I think we're good though. All right.
They believed in something called manifest destiny, the belief that all the land belonged to them, and that God wanted them to go west and claim it back from the Native Americans who put there first by mistake. Manifesting your destiny.
And so much of this is so funny to me because I was taught American history, of course, in history class, and hearing her go through some of these things like manifest destiny. I remember being taught about that, and George Washington and all these things. Hearing her go through it and like give her spin on it of what actually happened or is very funny to me.
And claim it back from the Native Americans who put there first by mistake. Manifesting your destiny was dangerous. You had to trundle across a perilous landscape in a rickety wagon on the brink of starvation or shitting yourself to death with dysentery, getting bitten by snakes or butchered by Apaches. Almost as if God didn't want them to do this after all.
Oh my God, this is so good. It's very blunt as well. It goes from like dad humor, kind of like lame jokes sometimes to like cursing and like very blunt humor. I'm getting thrown off here in a good way though.
But Americans back then weren't the humble, unassuming people they still aren't today. It's hard to imagine a world.
And that's where you have to understand her sarcasm. Like a lot of Americans, I think, would actually not understand this is a joke. This sarcasm that she does right here.
Americans back then weren't the humble, unassuming.
Americans back then weren't like today.
The humble, unassuming people they still aren't today.
Americans weren't the humble people they are today, for sure. Yeah.
It's hard to imagine a world where Edison didn't invent the light bulb. And even if you did imagine it, it would be too dark to see what was in it.
See, the dad joke.
So we had daylight during the day and we had candles at night.
Yes.
So we didn't need light bulbs. His life's work was meaningless. That must have been a real moment the first time someone realised a plane needed a toilet. That's more impressive than the Wright brothers.
Use a firearm.
Do these people... No. Don't these people she's interviewing... Do they not know she's joking? Because that's freaking hilarious if they don't. Their reaction is like bewilderment, like they don't understand. But how, do most British people know Philomena Cunk here? Like, if she was interviewing me, I wouldn't have known she was a comedian or anything. I wouldn't be prepared for some of these answers she's giving or questions she's giving. Do most Brits know of her? Like, how famous is she, actually? I'm curious, because it's very good stuff.
Did a toilet. That's more impressive than the Wright brothers.
Use of firearms is an integral part of their national identity.
How come Americans have the right to kill anyone they want with a gun?
Well, they don't. Murder is illegal in the United States, but they do have the right to own weapons.
They have the right to bear arms.
Correct.
But bears don't have arms.
Just hearing the way, and she's very good at this, just hearing the way she says the questions in such a matter-of-fact way is so good. And the absurdity. Do Americans have the right to shoot people with guns? Yeah. What did she say exactly?
More impressive than the Wright brothers.
Use of firearms is an integral part of their national identity.
How come Americans have the right to kill anyone they want with a gun?
Oh, no.
Well, they don't. Murder is illegal in the United States, but they do have the right to own weapons.
They have the right to bear arms.
Correct.
But bears don't have arms.
They do, actually.
Yes, they do.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
I thought they were legs.
Well, I'm not a biologist, but I suppose that when they stand up, they're probably arms.
The guy she's interviewing is so serious, too. It's perfect.
With its cowboys and guns and steam train rides, America became known as the land of the free, which must have come as a surprise to all the slaves. But by finally thinking hard about the subject, the people of the northern states made a horrifying discovery. That inside each slave was an actual human person.
Oh my God. And it's also so great how the way they shot this, it's so realistic. Like, it's so high production that it looks like a genuine documentary or something. And then she just says, outrageous things like that. In a way that's like also like kind of productive, like drawing attention to the obvious absurdity that was like slavery in America and all that. I mean, not even absurdity, but like travesty and horror, obviously. But the way she phrases it, it's just perfect.
Abraham Lincoln was shot in the theatre box, wasn't he? Where is that on the body?
Oh, I think
And why was he shot? Was it because he wouldn't take his hat off? Because that's quite annoying in the theatre, isn't it, when someone's in front of you
Oh
with a
my
hat on?
God.
well, he was in the press.
How did being shot in the head affect Lincoln's ability to lead?
Okay.
Well, it ended it because he died.
I mean, this guy has to know she's joking at this point. I mean, I don't know for sure. Like, I think this is an American she's interviewing. He might not understand the very, very obvious sarcasm and absurd questions. How did getting shot in the head affect Abraham Lincoln's ability to lead? That's a good one. This British comedy that she's doing. Oh, it's so good, so refreshing to me.
About 12 hours after he was shot.
So he couldn't carry on.
He couldn't. No, not as a corpse, unfortunately.
Okay.
Lincoln's light may have been snuffed.
I'm afraid.
Why don't bicycles have toilets? You know, it would save you having to get off. I might write that down and copyright it.
Even without a toilet, the Wright brothers' historic flight changed transportation forever in ways that still aren't fully understood.
The Wright brothers.
Right. She's really going throughout all of American history here. Like, how long is this Philomena Cunk on America special? I assume that's like a whole segment or a whole series that she's done. Because she's gone through like the beginning of America all the way to like the Wright brothers and invention of airplanes and stuff.
The Wright brothers did the first proper flight over 100 years ago. How come we're still not any closer to working out how aeroplanes actually work? That's your theory.
What?
Do you want to hear my theory?
Okay.
I think they run on belief. It's just because we believe planes can fly that they do. So,
Oh my God. How do these people take her seriously? But it's so funny. And how serious her interviewees are. Reminds me of someone told me that bumblebees are so stupid they don't know that they can't fly. Like they should be too fat to fly, but they're so dumb they just fly anyway because they don't know that they can't fly. that reminds me exactly of what she's saying here. Airplanes run on belief.
the media has to keep up the pretense, or they're just going to start dropping out of the sky. Same with Wi-Fi. There's no way that's real. We just have to go along with this pantomime. The Civil War tore America apart, didn't it? Brother turned on brother. Did anyone get so conflicted they turned on them?
But Abraham Lincoln's
What?
story didn't have a happy ending.
No.
5 days after the North won, a terrible fate befell him. He was forced to go to the theatre to watch a play.
Oh my God. Yes, I was sure she was going to say he was shot and killed. But no, he was forced to go see the theater. Horrible. Horror! And it was there that he was killed, but...
He was put out of his misery by a kindly gunman, but cruelly, not until the third act.
Oh my God. I love it though. Like her willingness to talk about these morbid topics and make jokes about them. Like as an American, I think this is very, very funny. Very, oh my God. Holy cow, that was so enjoyable. This was by Best TV Shows. I gotta give this video a like. Philomena Cunk. Had never heard of her, never seen her before, but I absolutely love her. This was amazing. This was funny. I loved her style of comedy, her style of delivery. Not something you see in American comedy much at all. This was so great. I am so glad I gave this a chance and took a look at this. I loved it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with your thoughts on Philomena Cunk or anything she talked about here. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and British culture, stuff from Britain I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.